Alright, so a while back I said I was going to do a video on my camp stove. Right now we just did Throop Peak and we did Mount Islip, and we are at the trailhead for Kratka Ridge, the abandoned snow place. So Tayo is pretty tired, so we're giving her a little break. I figured I'd shoot a little 5-minute video and kind of show you this killer little stove that I built. It's the first time using it out in the field, but I did a bunch of tests at home with it to kind of check burn times and whatnot. So I'll show you what's in there, but I'll say this, that this is my entire cooking kit. It all fits inside of my pan. I'll show you in a second. And the reason why I put it inside of this little stuff sack is I use the stuff sack to put some rocks in, and then I tie it off, and then I throw it up over branches so that when I have to hang my wire up into high objects, that's how I do it. So trying to have everything having dual purpose. So that's the reason why I put it inside of this little stuff sack right here. So we'll set that to the side. So this is a titanium MSR pot. One of the things I did, you can see here, I took a Sharpie. I marked 1C and 2C for 1 cups and 2 cups. Almost all of the bagged foods that I make are usually between there. This is a 1 serving rice and chicken, and this one takes 2/3 of a cup. So I kind of estimate a little bit, and none of them have been more than 2 cups. I think I went at 1 3/4 is usually about as high as they go. So I found that just having 1 to 2 cups would be sufficient, but which means I could actually shrink this if I wanted to. But anyway, so the lid is real handy. You gotta have a lid to keep dirt from getting knocked in there. Also, it helps it boil a little faster, especially when it's cold out, so that's kind of handy. I took one of my kids' Robitussin cups, and I marked on there, you know, 1/2 ounce would give me a burn time enough for 1 cup, and 1 fluid ounce would give me 2 cups. So this is the stove. So what I do is I took a little Nalgene bottle. This is a 4-ounce Nalgene bottle, and that's filled with denatured alcohol. Right now it's just straight up denatured alcohol. I do like liquid heat better. Burns a little hotter, so I got a couple bottles of that. But I bought some of this when I was doing all my experiments with stoves I was building, so I'm just burning it up right now. Obviously I mark it with the same thing on the cup here. I mark right here, you know, 1/2 ounce equals 1 cup, 1 ounce equals 2 cups. I mark fuel. Now there's no mistaking what it is, a big F on top, and that way nobody drinks it by accident thinking it's my secret stash. So that's how I carry the fuel. And you figure 4 ounces, that's like 2 days worth of camping right there. So that's that. A little measuring cup, which you don't really need. You can kind of estimate if you want. This is the stove. This is a 7.5 ounce Pepsi can, double walled, and there's lots of different designs on how to make this. There's 16 holes all the way around this that I measured out and marked, and I did that with just a push pin. So that's the diameter of a push pin, those holes there. I made this actually in a hotel room on a training day with a pair of scissors and a push pin. So it's simple to build. There's a liner inside of here. It's, like I said, double walled. And I like this one better than the typical penny can stove. The penny can stove, you have to light it from the bottom. You have to you waste all this fuel trying to get the alcohol warm, because it won't come to life, and the stove won't work if it's not, the alcohol is not boiling inside. The other thing too is with this one, you can set the stove right on top of here, and the holes are far enough down. Once it's primed, which takes about 45 seconds with this particular stove, then it just burns perfect. This sits right underneath here, and it burns it perfect all the way around. And I don't know if there's a dark enough in here not to see it, but I'll show you that in just a second. But lots of designs out there. I prefer the double wall now. 7.5 ounce. I mean, it doesn't. You're only putting in here just a little bit of fuel, so you don't need it too much. The height is just right, and I'll show you why. Made a couple little mini pot holders. This is just aluminum foil, fold up multiple ways, and I just wrap it around the little handle here when it gets hot, like this. Just kind of go in there like that, and then I can pick it up. And I can also hold it steady while it's on there, so I can manipulate the lid to make sure it's boiling when I think I hear what I'm hearing. Also inside I keep some just a windscreen that I made. This is a thick aluminum pan kind of thing, and I just cut it down, I rolled it over, and I got it sized, and I used staples. I just stapled 2 pieces together so that it was long enough. And with the stove down, I'll show you here. With the stove down, this fits right on top of it. This sits right on top of there, and the handles stick out that little groove right there. And you can see by the way the distance is from here to here, allows enough ventilation, but it also keeps it from snuffing it out, and keeps the heat going on the bottom of the pan, which is where it needs to be concentrated. So I will set this up. Unfortunately, I don't have a flat spot, so I'm going to set this up here. I'm going to light it. We've got a little breeze going through here, which is good. We'll take care of that. One last thing I'm going to show you before I change video screens here. $14 at REI. It's got a whistle on it, a little whistle right here. So you got a little safety whistle there. You can see that it just taking a little flint thing, a little striker. And awesome, love it. Best thing ever. Get soaking wet, dry it off, and use it, so you don't have to worry about lighters anymore. I really like that. So I'm going to find a flat place to put the stove. I don't like how it is on here too much. I mean, it'll be fine, I guess. We'll try it out. I'm not going to go anywhere, but and we'll show you how it works here in just a second. So the first thing, measuring out fuel. I'm just going to do 1 cup just for fun. So you can see there, you got a ½ an ounce of fluid. I forget what the burn time is. I think it's about 7 minutes, if I'm not mistaken, with a ½ ounce. ½ ounce of fluid, you just pour it right in the middle. Whereas the penny can stove, you got to pour it in the little holes and all kinds of fun stuff, and it just takes forever. Takes forever to ignite all the way. So just do that. I mean, if you want, you can swirl it around. There's little holes notched on the bottom so that it leaks into the double wall right here. And hopefully it's dark enough, you'll see how it works. There, that's it, it's lit. And this stuff burns like way hot. So I'm sure you'll hear it here in just a second. Yeah, it's totally primed, good to go. And then you can see down inside, actually, you can see that it's bubbling. See the fumes, or the fuel bubbling down in there. And that's what it takes for it to be primed. And that's it. I mean, you put this thing on there, put some water in the pan, set it right on top of that bad boy. Let's see if it's dark enough now. No, not dark enough yet. I tell you what, I will edit in later on. I will get some footage of it at night or dark, at least where it's dark outside. You can see how it primes and how it comes out around in those things like a gas burner. It's a phenomenal little stove, and it works really good. So highly recommend it. I mean, nothing to buy. A 12-ounce bottle of liquid heat is $1.77, I think, at the AutoZone. Maybe $2 wherever you go. Aluminum foil, cheap. Drink a can of soda. What's that? 50 cents? I mean, easy, cheap, durable, lightweight, weighs like nothing, and ultra reliable. So that is the double-walled stove. And like I said, I will edit in later on the blue flame at night. All right, we're in my bathroom right now, just simply because I can make it dark enough in here. And yesterday I told you about the camp stove, so we're going to put a ½ an ounce into the aluminum double-walled stove, right in the center, so no spilling necessary like on a lot of the other stoves. I'm going to put this on there for right now. Just to open it up, you can see how you can form it. I'm ready to kill the light. You can see how we have the blue flame for now, and then once it's primed, once the fuel starts to boil, you'll notice that let's take this off right now. You'll notice that it'll start coming out the sides like an actual stove. This is called priming the stove. Now, apparently, they're starting to come out. Apparently, in colder weather, this takes a little longer. And you can see how it's dropping down, and now kind of forming into a nice little stove right there. Now, I'm gonna leave the guard off of it just for now. But there's 1 cup of water here. See, that's a perfect Beautiful blue flame. Now, put that on there. Just for fun, I put the shroud around it. And notice that I open it up a little bit to give me this right here. The other thing I do is you want to watch the wind. If the wind's going that way, that's better. If the wind's blowing this way, then it puts that flame right here onto the handle, and then you have a hot handle. So if it's kind of going that way, keep this on the upwind side, then chances are you can burn your fingers. You can see how that flame's coming up. Almost sounds like a rolling foil already. Oh, there it is. Got a cup of water boiling in just a couple minutes. And that'll be hot enough for sure to cook your bag meals, way hotter than what you need for coffee. That's a half ounce of fuel right there. You can see how well that stove's working.